Welcome to the Third Degree Masonic Podcast, where we are always on the level. We're your hosts. I'm Brother Samuel.
I'm Brother Gabriel.
And I'm Brother Ryan.
And we're just a bunch of Masons trying to find our place in this fraternity. Craftsmen, it is that time of year. It is cold. It is the burr months, and the holidays are soon upon us.
Hey, but snow's on the ground, so that's nice.
Well,
It's nice and chilly.
It's nice and chilly. We have a very fun Masonic topic for you today, Craftsmen, but first, some words from Brother Gabriel.
Hey, Craftsmen, Brother Gabriel here. I'm glad to be back on the podcast. I've been off for a little bit, taking care of some things. I enjoyed my last episode with the Tennessee traveling, but I'm glad to be back doing some regular episodes. But I just want to say that if you're looking for a nice Masonic-themed gift for this holiday season for yourself or for another fan of the podcast, please go to www.masongearshop.com so you can check out our tab on his website for our product merch from our podcast. And we'd really appreciate it, and we hope you guys like it for a nice holiday gift this season.
And to kind of promote the website and the shop a little bit more, if you don't like our podcast, I don't know why you're listening then, but they do have other Masonic apparel and things, Scottish Rite, York Rite.
Everything.
Blue
Everything.
Lodge. So by no means do you have to buy our stuff. We
just
greatly
prefer it.
appreciate it. But
We're
you can
biased.
find other things for other Masons.
So, anyways, it has been, I don't know, I'm going to say probably 2 months since we've all sat down together. It has been a very busy couple of months, so I think we should update everybody on what we've got going on. It's been busy not only in the lodge,
It's been very busy outside
the lodge, even debatably more. Things have gotten even more complicated in the life of Sam, Gabe, and Ryan.
Yep.
We can go through lodge updates, and then we'll go through personal updates.
Sounds good to me. So we just got done in November. We did our election for officers, and we made a big change. A few big changes, several big changes, but I am no longer in line to be Worshipful Master. I have dropped that, and I have taken on the selfless duty of being the lodge's treasurer.
What the fisted money bags, Mr. Scrooge himself.
So now I am a forever treasurer with Ryan being forever secretary. As much crap as I gave you over the last year of being.
It is so nice because I think it was on like the first week of you being treasurer. We didn't even have a state meeting since then. And you're like, wait, I have to do this? How many checks do I? And you're like, is this going to be every day? I go, yeah. And you're like, I quit. I don't want to do it. And I was like, welcome to my last year there, bud. Like,
We've had
complain.
three financial crises in a week.
And I had to sit on the sidelines and do literally nothing.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, you just hear the aftermath. Like, wait, so this is handled? Yeah, Sam and I handled it. It's like
yeah, I haven't had an officer position. This will be my second year without a position in the lodge.
It's great. Well, you're doing candidate mentorship, and you have a really important one coming up because a good friend of mine.
I heard, yes, we joined that petition in lodge the other day.
Yep.
I can't mention him by name yet because he's nothing's official yet, but he's a very good friend of mine from my motorcycle club is asked to join.
It was funny when I was reading his petition because I always knew him by his biker name, not by his actual name. So I'm like, who the heck is this? And then I get to the bottom and it's recommended by me and Sam. I'm like, why did I think I know who this is now. And I'm like, oh, there's a
because we don't use government names at the clubhouse. It's all.
I wonder why.
Yeah, well, no, come on.
I'm joking.
I know. We ain't like that, but no, actually, usually your biker name is earned. It's usually humiliating. We got a couple of pukes in the puke, Ralph, Crawl.
Incredible.
You know, they've earned those nicknames somehow, but yeah, he asked to join, and then it's really funny. Another one of the guys asked to join.
Oh, nice.
He's joining a different lodge though here in Toledo because there's another guy that's in the club that's a Mason. He's joining his lodge. So these guys, we're all brothers in the club, but like
masonry is going to make a nice inroad into the biker culture in the Northwest Ohio area.
It's interesting. So it's not something I push or do anything while I'm out there. They all know I am. I mean, that's kind of the running joke. But they asked to join me, and me and Adam were both like, yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll get it taken care of. So
nice.
That's really cool. Like I said, I'm going to be treasurer. I'm learning how to do that. So that's terrifying.
We just went to the bank right before this episode and signed 5-6 documents.
All I could say was, Ryan, don't get me arrested for embezzlement. That's all I can ask. So
the joys of being a treasurer.
Yeah, I'm already looking at it going, oh, you guys have spent too much money, and it's not even my.
We're not writing checks.
No
just
more.
Do a freaking donation. That's all.
You've been gone, and I've just been reading the treasurer's reports, and I'm like, man, you guys spend a lot of money.
They do. That's why I'm just over here like, no more. No more.
The tap shut off.
The tap shut off. So, personally, though, Gabe, you have some big news.
Well, yeah. So things, the reason I haven't been on the show lately, Craftsman, is I have been settling into a new location. Is that I have sold my house in Genoa, moved to the town where I work, and just kind of it's weird because I was already well established in the community. It's just been interesting transitioning. It's a new stage in our life, in the life of myself, my wife, and my son. Getting everything adjusted, getting everything set, reorganizing everything, kind of restructuring our lives a little bit, figuring out how things work, buying furniture, fixing things.
Well, in the first few months you live at a new place, like I know you moved to that new apartment after you and Bree got married, but like when you end up in the house that you guys are hopefully eventually getting, the first 3 months you're there, it's just absolutely the worst.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, I got to set up that bill. Bill.
Oh yeah, the bill setup was a fun time, but the wife and I, we've accomplished a lot. I mean, living in Genoa, we lived here for like 3 years, and we still hadn't unpacked everything by the time we moved to Waterville.
Yeah.
But now, other than a couple of boxes, we have unpacked and organized almost everything.
Awesome.
Because when we switched, we were like, we have to make our lives more efficient. We have to make our lives more streamlined. We have to live more Spartan. And we just organized stuff, got rid of stuff, cleaned stuff.
Well, and then on a positive note, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong though, now that you are working in the town that you live in, I'm assuming you have a lot of pride in that now. You live there now.
All of my neighbors know that I work for the Public Works Department now.
But now you're more eligible to be able to do overtime activities like snow. Yep. So we just got like 10 inches of snow in the last week on 3 separate occasions. But you've been going in and doing snow removal and snow treatment.
A lot of no sleep days.
Yeah. So he's part of the vampire squad with me lately.
Well, what's fun is going to work at 7, getting off at 4, going to a lodge event, and then getting called back in, working all night, and then working all day after.
Yeah. Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
It's great.
31 hours of snow work overtime in 1 week is a nice paycheck.
Yeah.
So going to be
But you weren't eligible for that before because you were too far away.
Correct. Because they wouldn't call me in because it would take me too long to get in.
Yeah. So now you're
called in for everything.
Right, which is great. I mean, I know it really is going to change the life of your family. So It has been busy. And then if I remember correctly, Ryan, you and the missus might be moving yourselves here really soon.
Yeah, so a few personal things, just end of the year work with my, I wouldn't say promotion, but change in job kind of thing where I'm the assistant shop manager trying to get the end of the year stuff finished. And then interesting enough, we hired a production manager at my work, which is my old boss from my old company.
Oh.
I don't report to him. He doesn't report to me. We're kind of on the same level. So it's a little weird because it's like, I used to report to you.
Right.
And now
it's weird.
This is weird. And it's just because it's like we used to work together at a different job. Now Anywho, so there's been that. And then coming home, slowly moving stuff into boxes, totes and stuff. nothing official yet. We haven't even like signed any documents or gotten money allocated, but we'll be moving here brand new year in February, March timeframe.
Cool.
Just moving from the apartment into an actual house, which will mark the end of my 6-year house hunting career.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, for those of you that don't know, Ryan, like Ryan said, he's been house hunting for 6 years.
Which
I started house hunting after him and got my house before him.
So
yeah, I have bought and sold 2 houses.
yeah, so a few things there. It's 2025, almost 2026. If you do the math, 6 years ago, right before COVID, I started looking for houses like the 2019, right before like COVID actually hit.
Right.
Housing market went to shit because no one wanted to sell a house. No one wanted people in their house.
Yeah.
And then it still hasn't even fully recovered.
Digital listings.
I would go to a house that would be listed for $150,000. My realtor would tell me, okay, it just went on the market, but you have to give me your best and final offer by tonight at 8 p.m., which, by the way, to even be on the table, it's going to require you to be $180,000.
Right, because somebody's already put in.
Yeah, and it's like, I can't justify in my mind $30,000 extra dollars for something that it's barely worth 150.
Right.
So I got a little stingy. I got very like, no, if I'm gonna put all this extra money, I want it to hit all my requirements.
Right.
So
no, and you know what? It's one of those things you should be picky about.
Yes.
You should be. It should fit your needs. You and the missus aren't in a. I mean, you guys, Gabe, you and your wife kind of were, because you were trying to get out of Genoa and get to where you were going, and you kind of had to rush a couple of things and probably miss some stuff, but you'll take care of it as you go. If you don't have to be, don't be.
Yeah, you know? and that's where
fine.
Yeah. I was also looking for my forever home. Right. I wasn't looking for, oh, this is going to be my home for the first 5 years of my life or marriage life. It's like, no, this is the house that I'm going to have kids, grow up with my kids, and that kind of thing.
And you're then, right down the street from me.
And now, yes, sad news, we had a death in the family, and with their passing, the house is now vacant, which it's my dad's childhood home and all his siblings, and they want it to stay in the family, and they're like, well, Ryan and Bree are looking for a house, and it's like, perfect match, but still need to do some financial government
you gotta get through the will and stuff.
Yep. So that's where it's like nothing official. It hasn't been like, yep, Ryan and Bree, you have the house. But it's like, you're 90%.
Right.
Well, we'll ourselves and the Craftsmen will be keeping tabs on that.
Yeah.
So obviously our overarching topic has been, what does it mean to be a traveling man? We have had several. We've had a couple of guests. We've had your visiting travels. We've had Mark and Charlie. We've talked about everything. How do you think that the question's going? Do you feel like we're learning anything from these guests that we're having?
Much like our last topic, I think we're understanding the question better now, because you get more information on it, because it's not like all of a sudden we've just changed our idea of what traveling is or what traveling importance is, but we like understand it better. Like it means more to us now through kind of exploring the topic, through doing some traveling, through hearing some traveling stories. It's more important, I guess.
Yeah.
And I would also argue, like, as you said, we're understanding the question more. I'm also realizing with every episode and every recording that it's not just the question that I'm understanding. I'm understanding more. The secrets of Freemasonry. What is it? What does it actually mean? I'm understanding, oh, it's not just this. It's more. And then kind of going back to our previous topic, does Masonry make me a better man? I'm understanding that more because I'm starting to relate to these stories of, well, I haven't been there, but I understand where you're coming from. I understand the feelings with the Tennessee trip, like what you felt. And it's like, oh, this is what the question more means. Not really means, but more means. It's a simple question, but it means so much more.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think we're off to a good start. I really enjoyed listening because I had nothing to do with it. I really enjoyed sitting down and listening to you talk about our new lodge brother Matt Dunn, and his Masonic history, and how it's funny how it kind of all came full circle. Like he met Dustin here, and now we're lodge brothers with this guy that was just visiting at one point in time. But now it's just funny how small the world really truly is.
Yeah, it is also amazing because we went to the Genoa Chamber of Commerce annual dinner, and he was there, and like I almost felt obligated to be like, hey, I'll be your guide and I'll tell you who everyone is. And we sat down, we were having drinks and cookies and stuff, and then I look over and he's talking to people. I'm like,
he knows everybody.
I didn't introduce you. And I would go up and I'm like, hey, how's it going and stuff, just making sure he's okay. Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, we're neighbors, and he knows my wife, because I keep forgetting his wife is from here.
Yep.
And it's just like,
yeah, I always forget that.
Well, and I don't know if you were there when we found this out, but like his sister-in-law was a really good friend of mine growing up.
Really?
Yes. So I was really good friends with his sister-in-law, Catherine.
Isn't it so weird how small the world really is?
Because he said his wife's name, and I was like, this last name? And he goes, yeah. I went, oh, well, yeah, I know your wife, and I know your sister-in-law, like, and I know your brother-in-law. Like,
yeah.
But they're a big family in this town. So it's, it's very...
Isn't it so strange that a brother who grew up in a completely another part of our country, in another jurisdiction, met a woman from this area. They were living elsewhere, and then eventually, and he joined Masonry somewhere else.
Yep.
And then came back to this area and is practically already ingratiated in this area because of the family that he's married into.
Yep.
And then joins the Masonic community in this area, and it becomes even tighter.
Well, and it's a lot, honestly. There's a lot of like similar, it's like kind of the opposite and similar to you, though, Ryan. You married into a very prominent family here in town.
Yep.
Not just prominent because pretty much your whole wife's side of the family is all in the fire department.
Yeah.
But also Masonically with Grandpa and Dad and Dustin, and you know, so you're following in this line, and it's just crazy. It's so like it's like having another big family dynasty, but like instead of these guys all being like Game of Thrones fighting each other, they're just another one of those big families here in our lodge. So that's really cool. I really liked that,
and that's where it's kind of interesting, just because it's like kind of what you said. Matt came from a different state. I'm from here, but we kind of are very similar.
You're a transplant.
Yeah, I am.
I
didn't
really
grow up here,
but that's okay. I'm even though I grew up here, my family's not Masonically connected, and I'm not. My family's not really well known in this town. I'm the start of that. Just like you're the start of that. So
keep going.
But, yeah, I'm really, but, another big one that I really like, Gabe, you said that you've gotten some communication from some of the guys you met down in Tennessee, didn't you? So they really liked their episode?
Yeah. I got, a couple messages. Unfortunately, I haven't had a lot of time to, like message and call and talk with the guys down in Tennessee, but I did get a couple of Facebook messages from the guys down there, and they really, really liked the episode. So I'm hoping that maybe we can get a couple of them on the podcast. Maybe we can, next year I can travel down there, and maybe I'll record an episode by myself while I'm down there. I think that'd be a great...
Well, we also, and my memory's a little fuzzy here, but we also did an episode about baguettes and the French and stuff. And some of them reached out to us. That was
Gabe, or that was Brother Ricky's episode about the cable toe before we started the question. But
yeah, but same kind of thing is like, I would love to get them on to talk about traveling.
Well, Mr. Treasurer, you can turn that tap back on, and we can get a Masonic trip going, a lodge trip to Grand Lodge in France, and
I want you to know that you guys would go to France and come back, and it would be just like that scene in Home Alone 2 where the dad gets the bill for Kevin's room service bill. And I was like, Gabe, you spent $9,000 on bread and cheese, rice, and wine. Yeah, no.
And it was just one bottle of
it's just one bottle, yeah, right. But yeah, I really like that, and I like the fact that I feel like we're on to something. We're getting there. So
Yes.
My next question is, so we've had some guests, we've had some ideas we've kind of thrown about on here. There's a couple of guests that I have locked in that are going to be coming onto the show coming into the future. But what would you guys like to see us do? So you've been here, you've listened to what we've talked about. What would you like to see? Where would you like to go? Who do you think we should talk to next?
Still on the topic of traveling?
Then,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In traveling. Well, first and foremost, I want to go to Gettysburg. I've done traveling to Gettysburg, but always as a military person, as a military historian, as just an avid fan of studying the American Civil War. I've never put a Masonic aspect on it, and I want to do a Masonic Gettysburg trip. I want to, and I mean, this is just me spitballing. This is bucket list. I'm not saying we've got to do this right now, but it'd be cool.
Well, I mean, it's not that hard to take a weekend trip to Gettysburg.
Correct. I'd like to, at some point, maybe take the podcast to the Washington Memorial in D.C. I think that would be cool. An amazing thing for us to do for travel.
It'd be cool, not just for the podcast to go, but for a lot of brothers from Genoa Lodge to go.
There is one, we can talk about the big, cool ones, but I think maybe we should just pick, half of Ohio, let's just say Northwest and Northeast Ohio, the map, and we just throw a tack at it.
And we go.
And we see if there's a tiny little lodge there that we've never been to, and we just go there.
Well, what's funny is, and this is what cracks me up, and I didn't realize this until I was starting to do my traveling for the Royal Schofield Society, how close some of the other districts technically are. I think it's the 5th district, but I'm not quite sure off the top of my head. But obviously you have, is it Waterville, Rubicon?
They're still in the 11th district.
No, they are in the 11th district, but if you go 3 miles up to Liberty Center,
they're in.
If you go to Delta, if you go to...
Or if you go to Findlay.
Napoleon, if you go to Findlay, those are all in another district, and they're less than an hour away from us.
Mm-hmm.
And we have an open invitation from Liberty Center to come anytime we want. I mean, we have an open invitation to go anywhere,
I have a coworker who lives in Liberty Center, and I want to maybe bring him to an event at that lodge sometime.
That'd be cool. I think it's what's funny to me is so my motorcycle club is out that way. So I always forget about it, that there's lodges out that way, and it's really not that far of a drive for me. I go to Delta all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the guys live out there. So it's oh yeah, I could go to a meeting in Delta. I don't think about that. But I think that's a good idea. I think we should do that. How would you guys feel if I could get it set up maybe in January or so? Maybe we could go check out the Detroit Masonic Complex.
It'd be awesome.
January, February?
February is going to be tough for me just because the move, if it happens. March would probably be better.
It would be a day trip. We wouldn't be gone for very long.
Only thing I'm thinking about is in January is it's still going to be cold. And it's Detroit. It's going to be even colder.
We can figure it out.
And my problem during winter
snow removal.
Work is busiest for me.
I would say let's quote unquote pencil it in for March.
Let's pencil it in. Okay. I'll see what I can just set up.
And then we should definitely do some traveling to Prince Hall in our area.
Yes, that's been on my bucket list to do. And I think, honestly, if we do a couple more traveling, if I can get a couple more guests on, I think we're good to have our keynote speaker come on. I know he's itching to come on. He has been on a bunch of the Masonic podcast circuits lately. That's my good brother and my good friend, Chad Kopinski. I love this man for what he does, not only for masonry, for education in masonry, but also for the podcast community. There's a reason I call him the godfather of podcasters. Like, he knows us all. He's on all of our shows. He was just on Time for Fellowship and 357, which is great. I mean, I love the fact that this guy's getting he's got a voice. He's got so much to give for Masonry. But I've been waiting to keep him to the back end because I know he has such a big explanation on what being a traveling man actually means, and and how to tie that
saving
into
him for the piece de resistance of our question.
He's the in
best for last.
Best for last, just like we did with Most Worshipful Brother Carter. I mean it. But he's another one that we will be having on soon to talk about. I guess I can let the cat out of the bag. It's really not that big of a secret, but Bill's a big. He's very knowledgeable on the topic of anti-Masonry.
Yes.
And anti-Masonry is a very, we talked about it in World War II, but fun fact, it's coming back around.
Yes.
In places that you wouldn't believe. And Bill's very passionate about it, and I am too. And he actually has done some educational
seminars.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the words at 9 o'clock in the morning, but yes. And I'm looking forward to having him on because there's also this really fun thing to think about now of being in the digital age. His background is in IT, cybersecurity, and
it's going to be very important for Masonic stuff going forward.
And it has to do with traveling, because you as a traveling man, you will come across someone that is anti-Masonic, and how do you deal with it?
You'll also come across like towns, villages, areas that are very anti-Masonry. Like I talked about Jamaica when I went there for my honeymoon. And I was like, oh, hey, I'm going to go to a local lodge, see if I can't go.
They're not there.
Yeah, well, it's very, very like devil worshiper like thing. So
several Asian countries are like prohibit Masonry.
Yeah. Right. Well, and it's not just let's take it even just on a smaller scale of, you will come across someone as a Mason that will tell you that you are a Satan worshiper, or you are a bad person, or that you don't know what's really happening in your fraternity and that you're enabling. And you need to know how to handle that.
Yep.
And I think Bill's a great guy to speak on that.
Mm-hmm.
He's very knowledgeable about it. But also, fun fact to think about, we are now in the time of artificial intelligence.
Yes.
And how does that play a part in deep fake, making fake images? I mean, I think most people can look at a picture now. We're all kind of in it now, where we can look at a picture and go, yeah, that's AI, but it's going to get better.
Yeah.
Where do we move forward? So I'm really looking forward to having him on. I'm just giving him a break right now. He did just get done a Grandmaster, a month or so ago. So
he needs a little bit of
I'm giving him a breather. Let him have some time with his lady and, enjoy the break.
Just like you became treasurer and you found out all this stuff, I'm sure for the Grandmaster, after your year, it's not cool. You're no longer Grandmaster. You're done. Right. Go home. It's okay. Now we have to transfer all this stuff over. You have to explain where this is at, and you're handing over the keys. And it's not just here's the keys.
Well, and I believe he took an office at his home lodge.
Yep.
And I think he's secretary of his lodge now too. So
nice.
So he's busy. I was just trying to give him a little break, but I'm really looking forward to having him on. While not actively involving travel, it does have to do with traveling. It's an instruction. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to where this is going, and then we'll top it all off with Brother Kopinski, and I think it'll be great. So on to the topic for today. As we know, Christmas is coming up very soon. Mm-hmm. Christmas, Hanukkah. I'm not going to pretend to butcher any of the other ones that I don't practice. Not that I practice Hanukkah, but it's very well known. It is that time. It is the time of busy. You got your family dinners. You've got your, I'm working, so I don't get family dinners unless somebody brings me one. Please bring me food. But it's the time where we're always in a rush. Your wife's maxing out your credit card faster when you can pay it off, to buy gifts for people that you sometimes wonder if you even like.
Yep. And you're like, what? We haven't talked to this person in months. Why are we giving? It's the time. It's
my favorite thing. This is why. So we have a rule at my house now. We don't. I buy gift cards for people, and I don't buy things for people that aren't useful. And I prefer it if people don't get me things, because I feel like I spend a whole bunch of money, and then at the end of it, I'm looking at what people give me, and I'm hoping it's close to what I spent, which is just stupid.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
You should not have to just sit there and compare and be like, did I overspend or did they overspend?
Right. I'm not worthy. But I go into this saying, there's a really important tenet in Freemasonry, right? We know we've got our whatever. A very big thing for Masonry is charity, right? This is the season of giving. So I would like to ask you, what does charity mean to you guys? And then and Masonically, what does it mean to you?
So I guess I'll go ahead and start, because I have a lot of feelings about charity. I have a lot of personal opinions about charity. So I guess I'll just go through some stuff. I'll start with what I think it means Masonically. What it means Masonically, especially since one of our core tenets is you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. But at the same time, you have to know where that line is and be willing to be able to open yourself and your pockets up to others, even if it's cutting it close, but not at the detriment to yourself or your family. I think what Masonically it means is that if there's an option for the lodge to support a brother who is very down and out at the moment, that they can and should and have an obligation to, as long as it's not going to break the bank of the lodge. If there is a community event, a community soup kitchen that's being held, the lodge, I believe, has an obligation to at least either promote it or give personnel to volunteer or give resources if the lodge can afford to do it. That's my thing, is because I know some members of my own family who break themselves to do charity, and then in the same turn need charity because of that. And I think that's the antithesis of the Masonic teaching about charity. And I think really what it comes down to in Masonry is that sometimes you may find yourself choosing to take care of yourself first, because at a later date you will be more capable and more able and have more resources to help more people. And I think that's what it means Masonically. Now, personally, when it comes to charity, I tend to do a lot of charity through my action, not through my pocketbook, mostly because I don't have a lot of pocketbook to charitize. But actions for charity for me speak a lot louder. And I don't know if necessarily some actions that I do are considered charitable, but I always try to frame it like that. As a city snow plower, I can just push snow wherever I want. But if I see someone out there actively working on their driveway while I'm out, I will try to make sure that I slow down and not push snow back in their driveway. Or if they're out struggling, maybe I'll even cock the plow in a little bit to try to clean their apron out if I can, and throw a little bit of salt in their driveway, just because I think that's nice. I think it's nice. It's good to be nice to people. I mean, that's my idea of charity, is that it's good to be charitable in your actions. Yeah, and people get recognition for charity all the time. People will write $1 million check to something and they'll get their name on it. And that's fine. And good for them for being charitable. And you can have your name on your charity. It's just I also don't like attaching my name to my charity. Mm-hmm. Whenever I give to church, the envelope does not have my name on it. Whenever I've given to people or organizations, it's always anonymous. Now, what I love someday for like, as a city worker for my city, if I build something that is like, hey, I build a super cool water fountain that everyone gets to use, and I have a little plaque with my name on it because I was part of the crew that built it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. I would love that. But if I was ever like a rich person, like if I ever became super wealthy, one of the things I want to do is I want to build a NICU wing in a hospital that doesn't have one.
Okay.
But I wouldn't call it Fawcett NICU. Like, it wouldn't be one of those things. It would be like Fremont NICU Hospital of Excellence. Yeah. Or something like that. Like, it wouldn't be Fawcett NICU, or it wouldn't be the Fawcett NICU wing. Because I would want to do that just because it's right mm-hmm. to do that.
I really like that.
And of course, my NICU would have like super nice lounges and dorms for the nurses and everything. It would have like...
And the X-ray techs.
Yes, but like it would have like...
No, screw them.
Like that's my idea of charity, is that like, and I know if I ever won the lottery, like multiple $1 million anonymous donations to my church, like it would not have my name on it.
Right.
And yes, my charitable actions have my name on them, but like when I help people, I try to do it anonymously.
Can I tell you something really funny? Because you talked about like what ifs. Mm-hmm. And I've said this for years, I don't know if I've ever told either of you this, but if I won the lottery and I was just rich, like filthy rich, I was going to spend all of my days working out. I would pay Ricky a salary of like $300,000 a year to quit his job. And him and I were just going to go from children's hospital to children's hospital, dress up as Batman and the Joker, and beat each other up. Like, buy the costumes and, put on the little show for the kids. And then, I probably would keep my X-ray tech credentials, and I would like to have Batman taking your X-rays.
That's incredible.
I'd be like, I gotta put your pictures into the Bat computer, kid. We're gonna figure out what's wrong with you. I'm even have the Christian Bale to. Where's
we gotta take your X-rays for Gotham.
The Joker toxin. So that's what I always joke.
It's not about the healthcare. It's about taking an image.
I love it. So yeah, that's what I've joked about for years. Ricky's on board. He said just call him and let him know.
Just let him know.
Just let him know that he can quit his job. So,
Lord.
What about you, Ryan? What does charity mean to you?
So, kind of going back to Gabe's point of charity is kind of it's there because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
And that's where I've always said to people that are wondering, well, what are Masons? What do you guys do? And my famous quote is, we do stuff for the community or others without asking for anything in return.
Right. We're not a charity.
No, we're just there to be good and help you out. And that's where I haven't handed them out a long time ago. Or I used to hand them out. I haven't in a while, just because with the move from my parents' house to the apartment, they're somewhere in my old room. I don't know where they're at. But I had business cards made up of, and it would just give like a blurb of, I don't know how we met, how our interaction went. These were all pre-made, but I just wanted to say, you're awesome and keep being awesome. Mm-hmm. And I think that personally is a little bit of charity also. I'm not giving them money. I'm not giving them an object or anything. I'm giving them good feelings, because in my thoughts, good vibes. In my screwed up mind is, I wouldn't mind if someone walked by and go, you know what, you're doing awesome today. It kind of makes me think, no matter what I'm going through, you know what, I am doing awesome. I am doing one step in front of the other. I am doing a little bit more.
Sometimes you need that in your life, though. Sometimes everything is just so shit.
Yes.
You can't.
So what I would do is,
nice to you.
When Bree and I would go out for dinner or anything, and if I noticed the waiter or waitress was having a bad time, I would obviously, I'm huge on giving good tips, more than what a lot of people say I should, but I would always put that behind the check. Mm. And I would never stick around to make sure they read it. I would just put it in and I would leave. And I hope they're still circulating a little bit. Now, no, there has been a few bars where the bartender would immediately look at it and they would kind of chuckle and they would get a smile out, and it makes me feel a little bit better, but I'm also not doing it to just pat myself on the back. So charity to me is, like I say for what Masons are, is doing something without asking for something in return because it's the right good thing to do.
And I like that. I like the fact of your cards. I have cards too that I keep in my car. They're completely the opposite. They're for people that don't park correctly. And it just tells them that they should probably go back to driving school.
So there's an interesting kind of philosophical question I have now about charity.
Okay.
Do you think helping someone help themselves is charity?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So instead of, if say someone's in desperate financial times, is helping them fix their desperate financial times without giving them financial support, is that charity?
I would argue it's probably better.
So I agree. So I agree.
Yeah.
Are you saying okay, for instance, Sam, you're going to be the bad person.
Sure.
He can't balance his checkbook. I'm coming over. I'm not doing it for him, but I'm saying, okay, Sam, let's figure this out together.
Let's budget this out.
And I'm donating, quote unquote, donating my time to him. So I would argue that is charity. I'm not doing anything because I'm going to say, hey, I helped you. You now need to help me.
Right.
But I mean, there are people who I know would probably say that's either selfish or not doing enough or being greedy because you're not giving them support and everything. But I disagree. I think
you're giving him the tools
or charity
to be better. So I always argue. So I'll give you this story. This is a fun one. Your brother-in-law, when he first moved into that apartment next door to me, he had no idea what his money looked like. He was just, swiping the card, and he couldn't figure out why he had a negative balance. So I cracked everything open for him. I sat down on the counter and I went through it and I broke down his budget for him and I told him this is where you're at. And he was like, I had no idea. And I'm like, yeah, so we need to make some changes and we need to fix this and no more of this, cutting this, whatever. I got him to a point where he could
do it himself.
Do everything. Yeah. Never gave him a penny. Never. But I'll tell you what, now your brother-in-law is great with money and he's got his own apartment and he's, making really good money and he's got three replica WWE championship belts. That's what he spends his money on.
Yep.
And you know what?
He still has money left over.
He still has money left over. If that's what he likes to spend and makes him happy, who cares?
And that's where I would argue, yes, you did a charity.
I lent him my expertise.
I don't think charity is ever defined by what money value you're giving someone.
Right.
But a lot of people automatically assume it is.
Yes. And that's where also, I wasn't going to bring it up, but Sam, I have a little bit of a irk with, it's the time for giving. It's the season of giving. It's not. It is, but it isn't. The season of giving is year round. The season of giving and being a better person and doing charity should be all year round. The reason why it's Christmas
right there,
Christmas time frame or Hanukkah time frame is everyone kind of relates back to Santa Claus. Well, I want to be good, so I get a present. Well, being good means doing charity. Well, that means, oh, hey, I haven't been the best this year, but if I put it on extra thick in December, it'll make it up.
Okay,
and it's No.
It's the same.
I see where you're going.
It's the same kind of trap that certain religious people fall into of like,
Yes.
okay, I'll go to church Easter and Christmas and I'll pray real hard on my deathbed kind of idea.
Yes.
And even some Masons fall into it of I'll show up for annual meeting.
Right.
And I'm a Mason.
So
but no.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. What you just said is absolutely not incorrect. I would argue, though, that this is the season of reflection about it.
Yes.
This is the time where you start. I always say this is the season of giving just a little bit more. It's the time, and I'll go into it with my whole thing. But I agree with you. I would just say it's for me. This is the time of year where I look back and I say, what have I done?
I mean, you also get that with like businesses, like the season of reflecting. It's the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make sure your checks and balances are all in play. Oh, hey, in the budget, how much money do we have left over? Well, we have $30,000 left over. Well, we have to use that because next year our budget will be cut by that if we don't use it. So what can we do? Oh, well, we can do raises. We can get equipment. So it's kind of like, it's still the reflection of, oh, hey, I have extra so I can give
just a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would tell you, so going into my whole theory on charity, I can't beat what you guys said. But I can tell you, so you have said on multiple occasions that like being charitable is one of my tenets. For being a big grumpy bear, I'm a very charitable man. I don't believe in lending friends money.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. If you came to me tomorrow, Gabe, and said, Liam needs medicine, I will cut you a check for $300, $400, $500, and I don't want it back. That's what I do. I will help you. I can't help you like that every month. That's your like one get out of jail free card. But like,
I've got Ram 1500 on my Christmas wish list. If I could cash in my one free.
Your one free. Yeah, your one free.
Sam, I'm going to be buying a house here shortly, so could you help with the payment?
Yeah, right. I'll get right on that. But I don't believe in, I will just give you the money. Because I don't want you to feel there's this master-slave relationship afterwards. Like loaning people you love money is a terrible idea.
Because also then eventually not going to happen.
You'll resent me. You'll resent me for it, and I'm...
Well, yes, that, but eventually if you keep lending money to people and they keep buying, someone's not going to, and then you have to have that awkward conversation with a loved one.
I just
hey,
don't.
You owe me $1,000. When am I getting?
You haven't paid me back, and then it's just awkward. So I just don't do that. I don't blame you. I'll give you a portion of what you need, or all of it if it's not very much. And I'm like, hey, this is all I can give you.
Yep,
it's all I got. So that's my whole thing when it comes to people and money. But also, that's the portion of Masonry for me, the brotherhood, doing the ritual work. That's all great. That's what we're here for ultimately. I love going out into our community and being active into it. I love being charitable. I love getting involved with the chamber, and I love ringing the bell for Santa, which is, I got to work on that, and hopefully we can sneak in and do that because I completely forgot about it.
I just thought about it when I saw it.
Yesterday, it all swings up on me.
I'm like, oh, shoot.
We could just go do it at Ray's.
Yeah, we just go ring a bell at Ray's. So,
sir, please leave. No.
Ding, 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 ding. So that's what I love about Masonry, but there's a reason for that. So when I was a kid, and I know for a fact that they're never going to hear this story, so they're never going to know. We had some neighbors that lived behind us, that were, when I tell you dirt poor, I mean dirt poor. No money. No money. Like, bad. Like, felt so bad. Really lovely family, but just, always on hard times. That one of their kids had some disabilities, and it was a lot. It was a lot, and so my dad was notorious for being a charitable guy too, but he definitely didn't broadcast it. never said a word about it. Well, the one year we went to the grocery store and he bought, oh God, I think back then this was probably in the early 2000s. I was probably 13 or 14. And he bought, at that time, $500 or $600 worth of food right before Christmas.
Jeez.
I mean, I'm talking like canned goods and a turkey, and I mean, like in food, not even like, I mean, it filled the back end of a pickup truck. And then he paid someone to deliver it. Like,
taking the next step of anonymity.
He absolutely did not want these people to know that we did it.
Because I can understand your dad
paid,
thinking that their neighbors would be embarrassed that one of their neighbors is buying them.
100% what happened. I asked him, I said, why don't we just take this over? I mean, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. And he said, son, we're really blessed to have what we have. He goes, I work really hard for what we have, but we are blessed. He said, and some people aren't that fortunate. He said, so it is right to give. He said, but it would not be right. I'm not going to take their pride from them. He said, you got to let people have their pride. Not the bad pride, but their self-respect. And their, like, there's no way they would have taken that from my dad. They would have been too embarrassed and too ashamed. So we got to watch as a pickup truck showed up at their house, because we could see their house from behind my house, and drop it off and watch the family wig out, like, in the best way. Like, I mean, we probably fed them for 3 months. But I know, I have a strange sinking feeling that they know that we did it, because every year we got massive, the mom was a baker, and she used to drop off trays and trays of cookies and fudge and candy and like just like more. That's why I'm so fat. But like I always argued, Dad and I always argued, like, do they know, or is that just what they did? Like, did she just do that? Is that what she did to, like?
I would say they may know, but my thought is they may not know, but you just gave them the tools to finally recover.
And to do something nice for the people.
Yeah, to finally be one step ahead instead of one step back. So now it's like, cool, we have these extra food. Let's give a little bit away, like someone gave to us.
That's the way I would hope to look at it.
Every story you tell me about your dad makes me like him more and more.
I miss him so much. He was such a good dude. Sorry, I'm over here tearing up.
You made me tear up a little bit with that story.
My dad was the most Masonic man I've ever met without being a Mason. Like, I asked him a couple times if he ever wanted to be a Mason. He was like, nah, I can't tie a tie. I'm not doing it. I was like, and he just like, for a guy who claimed to be the biggest asshole on the planet, he sure had a lot of people that liked him, and he went out of his way. Let's put it this way. He had a job at one point as a union steward and a union rep for all of a week, because he couldn't do it because the union wanted him to narc on people that he worked with and get them in trouble, and he told them to shove it. Like, he had such a strong moral compass on things, like, and he had no problem voicing those opinions. It's kind of where I get it from. The older I get, the worse it becomes. But he was that guy. Like, he always made sure that when we went on vacation, like, we would go to Florida every couple of years, he would take, we always call it renting a brother, because I don't have any siblings. And he would make sure that we took, not the most, we always took my friend whose family couldn't afford to take them to Disneyland. And I now as an adult realized this, and we paid for everything. Like, they didn't have to pay for anything. All they had to pay for is if they wanted souvenirs or anything like that. But my parents paid to take somebody else's kid to Disneyland for a week. Flights, room, food, tickets to Disney World. We went to all the parks too. Like, there wasn't just one park. And now as an adult, I know how much that costs.
Yeah.
But my dad was just like, yeah, we don't want money for them. You know, you're having fun, they're having fun. And and these were kids, because I had a lot of friends that didn't have a whole lot of money growing up. These were kids that were never going to go to Disney. Like, their parents weren't going to be able to do that. So it was very generous. There was a big thing pushed in our family, and it was really pushed to not make a big deal out of it. Like, like you said, I'm not over here going, look what I did.
You're not trying to get a pat on the back.
No. And honestly, that was the biggest one, was that when someone asked me why I'm big about charity and why I'm so gracious about it, or try to be, not to be like not humble about it.
So I know at the beginning of this episode, you were saying, well, we're going to stop writing checks. What if I told you the check is to a charity?
It's the first national charity of Gabe Foss.
Donate your time. It's free. It costs the lodge nothing.
Oh,
But like Dad's was the biggest memory. It was just doing that for that family that one year, and my dad not literally like making sure no one knew it was him. And I was like, wow, that's so crazy that you would. $500 back then was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't sound like a lot now, because I think that's my grocery bill. But like back then, that was a lot of money to spend on somebody that's not your family.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that because that's why, to me, charity is really important this time of year. It's the time to look back and reflect on how good you probably have it better than someone else.
Yeah.
And passing it on. And I really like the fact that you both talked about it doesn't necessarily have to be money. Anybody can write a check.
Yeah.
Being able to give your time, your energy, your effort. You know, we're at the time of year where, like I said, your credit card is just racking. So to be able to just take an hour of your time and go ring the bell for the Salvation Army, or help some little lady put her groceries in her car, or go caroling with your church or your friends, or you know, stuff, or go to visit the nursing home and just go sit down with somebody that doesn't have any family.
Yeah.
I mean, what's so sad to me, you remember that gentleman that was in the Masonic home or in a nursing home that you were kind of in contact with?
Yeah.
That to me is the saddest thing I can ever imagine. I mean, to be in a foreign state.
Yep.
With no family around you, and you're alone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awful. I would hope someone would go visit you or do that. It's the time of year where, yeah, maybe we don't, you should be this way all year round, but this is the time where you should look back and say, maybe I can do a little bit more.
Yeah, I like and I've never heard it this way, but it's the season of reflection. It's the season to look back and see where you stand.
And I would like to urge, and I think this is my call to action, usually I say, like our stuff, whatever. Craftsmen, take the time to do a little extra charity this year. Doesn't have to be money. Help someone that needs help. Go the extra mile. Go just a little bit more. If your lodge does a charity drive, go help them.
Yeah.
Go make an active effort, and don't just say, oh, we wrote a check to build a bed. I know we do that, the Build a Bed program for kids to get beds.
I mean, it's a great program.
Great program. Go help them build the beds.
Writing a check is very easy.
Very easy.
It takes all of a minute to 2.
Yep.
Go donating time or effort.
Go ring the bell for the Salvation Army. Go knock on the door of your neighbor down the street that doesn't have anybody checking in on him.
Yeah. Do
something a little bit extra. And to go with that and to commit to that, we here at the podcast, on top of doing everything that Genoa Lodge is going to be doing, I haven't told you guys this yet, but we will be making a donation to Shriners Hospitals. I will take care of that and get a check sent in the mail. We're going to be donating to them. Right now, Craftsmen, if you don't have a charity that you're looking at, or if you think like, hey, I've got a little bit of extra money in the bank, I can throw it their way. I highly recommend helping out Shriners Children's. They are my favorite charity. They take care of kids at no cost to the families.
Yep.
And, Gabe, you were kind of in one of those situations where, well, it wasn't Shriners, it was
not Ronald McDonald House, but
how just being able to have that taken off your plate, I'm sure that was amazing.
It was an experience.
And Shriners does that as well. I mean, it's another organization like that. But right now, Craftsmen, they have a charity drive right now. Someone has made a very charitable donation. They are going to be matching 3 times whatever they are donated until January. So for every $1 you give, someone's donating 3. So we will be making a donation probably before this episode even comes out. I urge you, if you have a charity that you don't have one on the top of your head, or a local food bank or something, they're a good one to look at. But just be a little extra charitable. It's the time. Just think about all the good things you have in your life that someone else doesn't have. Because I think we take for granted our lives, and we're always like, oh, I want more, I want more, I want more.
Yep.
It's not until you look back and you go, wow, I could be in a lot worse of a place.
Yes.
And I think maybe I'm in a weird spot because of where I work. I get to see that. And I always, I run into people I went to school with, and I just sit there and I go, oh my God, I could have made such different decisions in my life.
Yeah.
So, but unless you guys have any thoughts or opinions.
No, I think that's
a great way to end it.
Yeah, I think that's the best note we could end our episode on.
Well, be charitable, Craftsmen. And from us here at the podcast, we wish you a very happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, and whatever.
Happy New Year
Happy
and
New
all
Year.
that lovely
whatever
jazz.
Whatever you wanna, whatever you choose to say. Happy holidays. And remember, Craftsmen,
keep your working tools in order,
and always be on the level.
Thank you.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast do not reflect those of the Grand Lodge of Ohio, its officers, or any of its jurisdictions. They only reflect those of the hosts or guests.